Hello, everybody. Welcome to Karen's Stamp Pad. My name is Karen Scott, and I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Edmonton, Alberta. So welcome today to my Facebook and my YouTube Live. I want to show you some cards. I'm going to do 3 cards. One's going to be really easy, just featuring the Irresistible Blooms stamp set and dies. So the suite, actually, which is available in our online store. And only. So it's featured online. It's not in any catalog and won't be in the catalogs. I am going to show you a few of the cards, and we're going to do a similar version. Hello, Margaret Ann. Thanks for joining me. So I've got, I think, most of my supplies ready. I've been having a little bit of a dilemma as to what I was going to do today. I have had these cards done for probably about 2.5 weeks now, and I planned on doing this last week, and then I decided to do the Playing in the Rain, and then I was going to do it this week, but I decided to hello, Shirley from North Dakota. Thanks for joining me. And then I wanted to, seeing as celebration is over, I've got a lot of leftover designer series paper, and using the Favored Flowers designer series paper, I started putting together like stacks of cards, and I thought, wow, I'll do that. So anyway, I figured I'd do the Hello Irresistible today, and next week, if you want to join me, I will do kind of a stack of cards, and you'll find that using the Favored Flowers, you can just switch everything out, just the card stock, a different color, and the designer series paper, and it just gives it a whole new look. So join me next week too. So I'm going to put my camera down, and I'm going to show you a few cards that I've already done, and then I am going to show you how to put them together. So let me just put my camera down. And Catherine Belmore from Alberta, thanks for joining me, Catherine. And let me just change my view. Settings, if I can remember how to do this, right? Okay. All right. So I've got these already packaged up. I'll show you the stack of cards, actually. So you could tell I was having fun with this. So just a few of them that I have put together. Some fancy folds. And this is a corner tuck fold. It's got, and one of the flowers is holding it in the corner. So anyway, I've just been playing around with it, but I thought what I would do today is show you how to, if you don't already know, how to emboss resist. And one of the designer series papers in this package, and I can't show you a lot because, as you can tell, I've used a lot, but it has some really, really nice designer series paper in here. And in it, you can tell that, I mean, it looks like it's embossed with the white embossing powder. And I like that look. So I kept that look in my cards and doing the emboss resist. So that's all the paper I have left. So here's one with the flowers. I like that. Okay, so let's put this away. Now I've got everything kind of set up and pre-cut, except for my sentiment. But let's grab a piece of, first of all, some basic white cardstock. We are going to put that out of the way. And you bring in our stamp set, and these are the dies that come along with it. And I really like these two dies, and these will cut out the flowers and the leaves on the designer series paper. But why waste the paper? You could just use that and have a standalone card. So actually, let's just do the simple card first. And that's, I'm sorry if I'm getting my head in here. I'm trying to look underneath. So I'm going to use this paper. And all I'm going to do is just put it on the front and put a sentiment on it. And that's pretty easy for that card. So and look how nice it is. It looks like it's already been heat embossed and emboss resist. So it's got a beautiful background. So that's card number 1. I will do a sentiment. I got myself a piece of designer series paper, and in the stamp set, let's just go with hello. Or maybe I haven't used I like you. I don't know. Yeah, let's just cut this down and we'll use that. And stick with me. They get better. All right. So in keeping with the embossed theme, I'm going to use my Versamark. I'll bring in my embossing tray. Don't forget your embossing buddy. Otherwise you end up with stuff all over the place. So you can buy one of these kits, the embossing tray kits. Comes with the embossing buddy, some tweezers, and a brush to get the embossing powder off if it happens to be where you don't want it, or it can clean your tray. Okay. So I'm just going to keep that in there because I'm going to use it. And so I'm not going to make you watch me emboss everything. I will show you how to do the emboss resist, but you can at least see this on the petal pink cardstock. Okay. So there's our sentiment for this one. I'm going to just take my scissors and I'm going to cut that out, and I'm going to put that right there. I guess I could have done that in Flirty Flamingo. It would match better. But so you get the idea. I'm going to change that up after. That was a mess up on my part. I just grabbed paper that was available. Okay. So let's do the technique. I'm going to grab another piece of paper because I got something on that one. I'm going to bring in my Versamark. Now, I don't know if, I mean, a lot of people know how to do this, but, you know, for you beginners, maybe, I'm going to bring in my stamp sets or my They're already on blocks. And what I'm going to do is, you're not going to be able to see this because it does come out clear. But I can see where it starts and ends. And I'm going to stamp and fill up my paper with what I need. And then, oops, throw them around. Okay, we'll do a couple. They just jumping off the blocks today. All right, so there we have our stamped images. I'm going to put those out of the way. In the Versamark, just make sure I don't get my hands in it. I'm going to bring in my embossing tray, and I forgot to use the embossing buddy on this, so remember to do that. Less headaches. Only a little bit where I don't want it, but that's okay because it's in between the flowers, and I'm going to cut these out. So I don't know if you can see it now a little bit better. Okay, so I won't put you through the embossing again, like I said. I'll set that aside, and I've already got one that has been heated, and then you can see how glossy it looks after the powder's melted. Okay, so we're going to use some blending brushes. You can use ink daubers if you want, but we have blending brushes and for sale in the catalog. So I've got one I'm going to be using today the Petal Pink, Flirty Flamingo, and Soft Seafoam. Those are some colors that are in the Designer Series paper. There's also two new colors, Lost Lagoon and Pretty Peacock. And I don't have any Lost Lagoon. I do have a little bit of Pretty Peacock left. I didn't get rid of it. So, but we won't be doing those today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my blending brushes. I'm going to pull in a piece of paper so I don't, so I can dab off. Let's grab a piece. All right. So I'm going to put I'll start with my leaves on the bottom. And remember to dab off so you don't end up with big blotches. And you'll notice when I go over it, you can still see the white, so it's resisting the ink. You'll get a little bit on. You'll see a little bit of a green shine to it, but what I do is just take a clean rag and go over it, and then it comes out and it just pops. So we'll do couple of flowers. So this is my Flirty Flamingo, and you notice it more with this color than you do with the green. You can see the pink going over the white. So you could do as little or as much as you want. This is my petal pink one. Okay. So then again, here we go. Now, doesn't that look like the Emboss Resist look like the designer series paper? Let's hold it up a little closer. I don't know with this lighting if it, because I have a background, you know, on the finished product, you'll notice. So I'll put that aside. I've already gone ahead and die cut some that we can work with. Okay. Put these away before I get into trouble with them. All right. So the first card I'm going to, it's just your basic card base. So 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. And I don't know where my foam folder is. That was just here. Okay. And a piece of designer series paper at 5 1/4 by 4. And I'm just going to mount that on there. Look at that. Isn't that? That's one of the designer series papers. Oh, just love it. And there's some flowers on the back. And you'll notice the dies that I showed you will cut out these flowers. Oops. Oh, at the end of my roll. I knew that was going to happen. All right. So here's all my die cut flowers. And then I used this die. And I cut out a couple of pieces of cardstock in the petal pink. And this is what I got. So I've seen people use 2 of these and like spread them out over the card. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to keep it like this and attach it. Now, this could be a little finicky, but that's okay. If you have a sponge works well on the back of it. What I'm going to do is just take my liquid glue and put some dots of glue on the bigger dots. And a couple on the little dots just to hold it in place. You don't need a whole lot. Okay. And just down there on the ends to hold it. Okay. Line it up. I just think these are the cutest designs. Did I get? Yeah, there's glue on that. Hold it down. Put a little bit more. There we go. Okay. There, isn't that sweet? Okay. Now I'm going to bring in the flowers that I colored in petal pink and just adhere them. So I'll use this liquid glue, seeing as I have my tape runners out. I have another one handy, but that's okay. Bring in some glue dots or some Stampin' Dimensionals and put them on the back of one. Really don't need many. Yeah, do I want that up there? Put that one there. Here we go. And we have our leaves, which just adds a little pop of color. And now for our sentiment. Normally I'd have this done, but I want to do the heat emboss too. So I've heat embossed everything on these cards just because that's the look we're going for. So this is a cute card with the designer series paper and the die cuts. I'll use the sentiment from the other one. I did not put it on yet. So I will do another one for the other card in the petal pink. So let's just pop those up. Whoops, I got 3 of them on there. I don't need that. Okay, use my take your pick tool and take those off. Pull the whole thing right off. Okay, so there's our second card. And our third card is, now I haven't decided whether I want to do, let's pull in our cardstock. This is soft seafoam and it is 11 by 4 1/4 and scored at 5 1/2. And I've got a piece of another piece that needs to be cut down. Oh. Okay. And let's cut it down to 4 by 5 1/4. Oh, and I had one already done, but I'm going to show you. I don't know where I put it, and I have all of this set up anyway. So let's bring in my cut and emboss machine. And my die cut. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, like I said, this is 5 1/4 by 4. I'm going to put this die in the middle. And we're going to run it through. And this is what you end up with. Pull those pieces and you have that. Isn't that cute? So I'm going to remove all of my layers because I want to add some texture to it. So I'm bringing in an embossing folder. You can use whichever one you want. This just happens to be my favorite. And I'm going to put that down. I'm going to bring in plate number 4. So we've just got number 1 because this is a 3D embossing folder. So number 1 and number 4. Run that through. And we have an embossed piece. Okay. Now, I could make this. Here is a card that I did. What I did was just put the designer series paper underneath and then put my embossed piece over and put some flowers on. Now, this is from the Happiness Abounds stamp set, these flowers, done in the same thing. And so you can pull in that if you have that stamp set and dies. But maybe I could make a shaker card out of it. I do have some window sheet. So here's my designer series paper. Now what I did was, just because I was going to put this on top, whether I just lay it flat and stamp my sentiment in there or make a shaker card out of it, I cut this piece 1/8 of an inch smaller. So we're looking at 2, 5 and 1/8 by 3 7/8. So just 1/8 of an inch smaller. So that way, when we put it down and we try to line this up, that we don't have little pieces sticking out the sides. So we don't have to worry so much about that. It's easier to line up. So decisions. Now it's really easy to make a shaker card. You take your window sheet and you can glue that on the back. I'd have to cut this down and then put some strips on and our shaker stuff in. But I think what I'm going to do, and Stampin' Up, and just as I'm talking about it, Stampin' Up has some of these sequins, assorted sequins in different colors. So, you know, here's your pink, some greens that would go really nice in there. Great St. Patty's Day card. And some blues. I like the blues. Okay. And it comes in a set of 3. So you're welcome to check that out. But I think I'm just going to do the simple card today. So I'm going to take my designer series paper and put that down. And see, there's, you know, this side is nice. But I went for this one. Center that. Okay. And I'm going to put this on and I'm going to take a chance of stamping my sentiment and hope it turns out. Okay. See? And I'm not too worried about my designer series paper popping out. There we go. Okay, and for this, with the soft sea foam, I went with the Flirty Flamingo flowers. But I'm going to bring in my Memento Black. I wonder. I could do I Like You. I used the other ones that I made, and I think maybe I'll stick with that. Oh. Now let's use this stamp set. I'm going to use Hello. Just make sure I got it inked up right. I'm going to lay it flat so I get it, and I just put it on an angle. Hello there. Nice. That works. And now decorate with my flowers. Where's my taking picture? My sentiment's so small, I think I'll put those up a little bit. Okay. Well, thank you. Hey, Bilkis. Kathy, welcome. And then maybe just one flower up there too to add a little pop of color. So you'll have to go online, check out the designer series paper, because it really is nice. And there is so much you can do. Where do I want this? There. And small one. Right there. Okay. So there we go. And just put a piece of cardstock in the center, but there's the third card. So let's move this out of the way. Oh, and this set, or this suite, comes with these loose frosted dots as well. So let's see. Do we want? Let's pull our cards back in. Remember, I need to put a sentiment on this one. So we'll take a picture and post it after I'm done. And what did I do with it? I've lost my cards. I lost my card. Oh boy. Oh, there it is. Here we go. So there's our 3 cards for today. I need to put the sentiment on that one. We'll put some embellishments on. I think I'll use some, couple of spots here. There. Couple on here. Where do we want them? Let's put them in the center of the flowers. I don't know if that one looks all right, but it might come off. Thank you, Kathy. So, just decorate however you like. Where's another small one? Oops. Here we go. And what colors? Because I'm using all my pink ones here. Okay, almost done. So, can't think and talk at the same time. All right, there we have it. So, 3 cards. How long was that? That wasn't long, I don't think. 40 minutes. I spent more time talking and looking for things, cutting and die cutting. So we have those 3 cards, and that's it for the Emboss Resist technique. So that's that for today. And like I said, next week, join me and if you have some favorite flowers, designer series paper, have some of that ready. And we'll put together a few cards, and you'll see how easy it is just to change everything up. And with just the designer series paper itself, or the cardstock, and we will make a whack of cards. So I will show you 3 different designs, and that'll be it for next week. So join me then, and thanks for joining me today, and you have a wonderful, wonderful week. Bye for now.